Hi everybody, this is Matthew Owens. Thank you very much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Our company is dedicated to creating financial freedom for all of our investors through passive real estate investments, and we specialize in doing that. To give you a little bit of background on our company, OCG Properties was started over 10 years ago, and we flipped over 500 houses. We're currently buying about 5 properties per month, and we've actually raised over $45 million in private investors' capital. We manage a 200 plus unit portfolio in Memphis, Tennessee, primarily geared towards single family and multifamily real estate investments. And we do a lot of value add type projects. We own our own renovation and property management company, which is very key for a real estate investor to have the proper controls over their investments. For myself, I am a California licensed CPA and a full-time real estate investor. I have a degree in economics with an emphasis in accounting from UC Santa Barbara. I specialized in my previous life as an auditor and a tax consultant for various CPA firms, where I did a lot of real estate taxation. I did a lot of corporate and individual taxation, and help a lot of clients with their internal controls, their fraud risk factors, trying to help them decrease their taxable income, but also increase their bottom line. So we helped with a lot of different tax planning and business planning elements with different clients, as well as real estate related clients. Right now, I have a lot of experience with real estate taxation, as well as commercial and real estate investment analysis, the property management side as well, because we own our own management company. We do a lot of lending consulting and different loan structuring, and the legal structuring for different investors, as well as different deals. And then we do cash flow and market analysis for our properties as well as our investors' properties, and help different investors in different strategies. So we work through doing this. We actually go through and throw different educational events, do seminars and webinars to educate and teach our investor base what we do and the different strategies that we deploy and how it's lower risk, and something that a lot of investors haven't seen before, a strategy and a system that can be implemented and put in place where all investors can make money. We also invest in different syndications, and we syndicate ourselves, where it's just a pooling of investors' capital together for different investment projects. A little bit more about our company. We buy single family and multifamily real estate and invest in other real estate related assets like promissory notes specifically, and syndicated investments specifically. We also go through and add a lot of value through our renovations, our management and operational efficiencies, our leasing efficiencies, and all the due diligence that we know how to do on our investments, including compiling different structures for different investments, bringing different resources to the table. We create a passive cash flow real estate investment that actually enables financial freedom for ourselves and our investors. That's our primary focus and our primary goal, is that financial freedom for ourselves and all our investors. And then we provide investments specifically and do different goal planning, tax planning, entity structuring, and ongoing management of investments through the proper bookkeeping practices and proper management practices, and actively managing the property managers that we have in place in each market to actually manage our properties. Some different ways to work with us. We buy single families, and investors can buy properties from us with seller financing and make 7 to 10% on their money. They can invest with us in bank financing and buy properties from us with traditional bank financing, putting 20% down, and get a 10 to 20% return on investment in cash flow and principal reduction on the loan. Joint ventures we have available at our cost, where we do different joint ventures with investors, and they can make 10 to 20% returns on their money. We deal with cash investors, where they can buy properties all cash. In a lot of the markets that we invest in, the price points are very reasonable to be able to do that. And so investors can make 7 to 10% on their funds. We wholesale investors' properties, so we make a markup, wholesale it off, handle the renovation aspect as well for everybody involved, as well as the management. And investors can make 10% plus on their money just holding those properties. And then we also compile different property packages for investors with 1031 exchanges or different strategies that they're utilizing, and investors can make 7 to 10%. And then on the multifamily properties, we do a lot of value add projects where we're renovating projects, bringing them up to par, increasing rents across the board, and investors can make 10% plus on their money in those types of investments. And then we deal with promissory notes that are not directly investing in real estate, but are indirectly investing in real estate, where investors can get a set monthly payment on their investment, and without the risks of owning real estate, and have the real estate be the collateral for your investment. And investors can typically make 6 to 8% returns depending on the investments available, as well as the amount of capital that's available to invest. And then we invest in all sorts of different syndicated investments where investors can make 8 to 16% plus returns, where we implement different strategies. So we have a multitude of different investment vehicles like mobile homes, self-storage, commercial property, multifamily property, where investors pool their funds together and invest with us in different ways. And it's great because it's strategically placed with different markets around the country, and with different operators involved, and in different asset classes to truly diversify your investment portfolio. And then we have a great affiliate program where investors can actually come in, and different clients can come in and be part of our affiliate program through referrals, and actually make $100,000 plus a year through our structure. It's really interesting, the strategy we're about to show you right now, because it's one of a kind, and I really think with very easy, with a lot of effort, but consistent effort as well, investors can make a good base of money with us, working with us in different ways. And we have a constant supply of investment vehicles. That's one of the reasons we've been successful. We're constantly buying, 5+ properties a month. We have lots of different investments available for investors to invest through, depending on their own financial situation and goals. So let's talk about a few examples. Let's look over a couple of deals. This property right here, we actually purchased. The investors, and we renovated and brought up to par. But basically, in this case, investors can buy this one with cash, with bank financing, with seller financing, or do a joint venture with us. And so this property is a 2,079 square foot house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath property that rents for $1,075 a month. So the net rents are about $675 a month after you take into consideration vacancy, property management, taxes, insurance, and repairs. And then if you look at the bank finance option, if someone buys this property, they can buy it for $116,000, which is only $23,000 down with a 20% down payment. And so after everything, the investor is making a 9.88% return on investment in cash flow, and a 16% overall return if you include the principal reduction on the loan that you're getting every year. We also have a cash purchase option where if someone comes in and buys it all cash for $116,000, they can actually make 7% on their money. And seller financing as well. Sometimes investors internationally or self-directed retirement accounts cannot actually invest and get actually loans in place. So what we do is we offer seller financing. And so we will typically sell this one for $118,500 to do with the seller financing component with 50% down, or about $60,000 down. And we're looking at a cash flow about a return on investment of about 6.7% return on investment on this investment with seller financing involved. So then let's talk about the joint ventures. Very interesting strategy. This is a really high-end property. It's over a 3,000 square foot house. Investors in our joint ventures buy properties from us at our cost, no markup, and then investors get 75% of the cash flow and we take 25%. And there's a 50-50 split on equity. And we actually manage the property with our in-house management company at 8% versus outside management at 10%. And then we have typically a 10% plus cash flow stream on these investments. The investors get the depreciation benefits involved. You have us that's very experienced as a team member involved as well. And then your cost is our cost. We have no markup on our investments. We actually go through and give you our cost. So we're bringing existing equity to the table in a fully renovated, tenanted property ready to go for financing. And then so we bought it and renovated and did everything involved for this property, so it's perfect. So an investor puts down the down payment and qualifies for the loan. So this house, for example, is a 3,200 square foot, 4-bedroom, 3-bath house built in 1995, so it's not very old. It rents for $2,095 a month, and at a 4.75% rate and 30-year loan, this is the financial projection. You're looking at about $199,000 cost with about $40,000 down. And then after everything, you're looking at about an 11.8% cash-on-cash return, which is about $392 a month in cash flow. Plus you have principal reduction on the loan of another $24.63 a year. That brings your return up to 14.89% with your portion of the principal reduction and the cash flow. So this is the different investment options that we offer to our investors when we're investing. And then we have different promissory note investments as well. So this is an example where there's typically set monthly payments. It's secured by the property with a lien in place. We have 6 to 8% interest rates. There's equity protection on the investment, meaning the property is worth more than the loan amount. You don't have to deal with tenants or termites or toilets or anything to do with the property. You own the loan. You get a monthly payment every month. There's a set term involved, and there shouldn't be any headaches at all when you're dealing with the cash flow. You should be getting a check. And so there's short-term 1-year loans. There's different loans in place for that. So in this case, here's an example of a one-year loan. You're looking at a $73,750 investment, which is 77.63% of the market value. That's making $492 a month at an 8% interest rate. And we use this money to fix and flip the property. Then we have 5-year loans. And you're looking at a 5-year term at 8%. The total loan amount is $105,000. That's 63.64% of the market value. So really safe position to be in. And it's making $700 a month, every month for 5 years. It's an 8% return. And we use this because we make a spread on the rents. And then we have longer term 7+ years, 30-year loans as well available. So here's an example of a 7-year loan where we sold a property to an investor for $145,000. And they put $85,000 down because that's what they had to put down that they felt comfortable with. They didn't have all cash, so we did seller financing to them. And we loaned them $60,000. And right now, it's actually been paid down to $56,000. We gave them a 7-year loan, and there's 62 payments left on that loan. So they've been paying $573 a month every month without missing a beat, without missing a single payment, and it's at an 8% interest rate. So at the end of 7 years, there's a balloon payment of $41,000 that's due from this investor to pay off the loan. So it's a 7-year total loan. There's only 62 months left, which is about 5 years left. And so if an investor wants to come in and buy this loan, they can buy this for $56,303, and they can get a $573 a month payment for the next 5 years, and then get a balloon payment at the end of $41,134. Okay, so that is for their payoff of their loan. It's amortizing, paying down the loan over time. So part of that $573 is interest, part is principal. Okay, so really safe position to be in, being at 38.83% of the market value of this property. We also deal with different multifamily investments. This is an example of a 12-unit property that we've done. It was studios and 1-bedrooms in this case. Most of ours are 2-bedroom plus units. That's fully renovated in the prime area of Memphis. It grosses $9,195 a month. We sold it for $985,000 already. The joint venture was available for $895. It made 9% plus return on investment, and with the principal reduction on the seller finance loan, it actually made 11% on the money. So actually great long-term investment. Everything is redone on this deal, so we can provide these types of investments for our clients as well. And then we have syndicated investments, the last portion of this, where we invested in the past in different commercial shopping centers, 267-unit apartment building in Texas, mobile home park fund throughout the U.S., throughout the Midwest primarily, some different commercial shopping centers in different areas in California. Self-storage facilities is really popular and booming right now. Retail shopping centers, more self-storage, and then a fix and flip fund as well as a note fund. And so all of these different strategies are run by professional operators that actually have been doing this for 20+ years, have a good track record of giving their money back to investors, paying a good return. There's typically preferred returns to investors, meaning the investor makes a return on investment first before the operator gets paid, giving actual proper alignment of the investor and the operator's interest. So the operator doesn't get paid typically until the investor makes around 8% on their money. Then there's a split afterwards for investors. Typically, investor returns in cash flow are 8 to 10%, and there's typically a 14% overall return on investment on these investments over the long term. They're typically 7 to 10-year terms, and we're looking at minimum investments of 25 to 50,000, so you can properly diversify your portfolio into a ton of different investment options across multiple states, multiple operators, and multiple asset classes. Let's talk about quality control, the most important aspect of investing. What we do on our investments is we do all the before and after pictures and video. We give a property layout. We pull the comparable sales and the comparable rental amounts. We give a full disclosure checklist with the age of all the appliances, the age of the major systems like the roof and the ACs and the plumbing and electrical. We do a full inspection on the property with a side-by-side report of everything on that inspection report showing that it's completed and done. And then we have a full renovation estimate with our projects, and then financial projections showing the estimated profitability of that overall investment. So here's some before and after pictures of an asset that we've already done. We fully renovate these. We do the little extras like the backsplashes that really make a property pop, so we get a higher quality rental out of it and a higher quality tenant as well. And so this is an example of the software we use, or the layout that we use when we're dealing with our property, so we can get all the property specs involved. Here's an example of the comps report that we do. We pull comps on that property and get the average square footage analysis, as well as what we think the average property value is in that area, and then we come up with an estimated market value for the property. Same thing with the rent reports. We pull the rental comps in the area specifically based on square footage and get a gauge for what the rental amount should be in that area specifically. And then we do a full disclosure checklist where we show the rehab completion date, the scope of the work, the inspections is complete, the roof certifications, all of the mechanical certifications involved, the refrigerator, all the appliances involved, the tenant move-in date, if they're behind or anything involved. So we do a full disclosure of everything involved in this asset. So this is our actual process involved. So we do a 60-minute consultation going over all the information about you, your risk tolerance levels, your financeability, your current financial situation, your cash flows. Then we go through and we analyze the different investment options that might work for you specifically, the different single families and multifamilies. We also go through and look at the joint ventures, the cash options, all the different options that are available for investing. And then we match your resources with different investment types and help you determine what investment type might be best for your specific financial situation, your goals, your investment objectives, and your own risk tolerance level. And so we want you to be able to ask questions at this level and choose out an investment that works best for you. And then we go through the closing. So we sign the contracts and the investment documents. You look over the investment add-ons. If you want more options, you have different expected closing costs and fees involved. We go over those. We go over the insurance and the appraisals and the prorations. We have an attorney helping with the closing process, and then all the closing documents are emailed and summarized, and they need to be notarized and mailed back to the closing. So a really simple process after when investing with us at OCG. Then step 2 is actually the property management aspect, monitoring your overall investment, and then repeat continually until you actually are fully financially free. So looking at those management agreements on the management side, understanding the fees and the monthly communication involved and who's responsible for answering questions and things like that, monitoring your investment, reviewing the monthly statements and collecting the cash flow, reviewing the taxes and insurance and other expenses that need to be paid, asking management questions and dealing with repair and maintenance and tenant issues. So, and then you're actually looking at continually building on this cash flow and covering each expense step by step, one by one, with additional cash flow investments. So finding the right investment for your clients or yourself, determining investors' risk tolerance level is the number one thing. I think you want to find out where they're comfortable. Determining how much time they have. Do they want to be active versus passive investors? And what return are they comfortable with? Are they aggressive and going to shoot for active returns, which are typically higher, or do they rather accumulate cash flow over time to gain that financial freedom for themselves as well? Do they understand how they're protected on each investment? Do they have the capabilities to use bank leverage? How much cash resources have they allocated for their investments? And do they have time or other relationships that can add value in investing as well? And then what are their different cash flow goals and their monthly expenses? And developing a plan for them is really, really important to understand where they're going and understand what their budget is currently. So we also help investors in different ways with tax and legal help. We help and specialize in helping investors with 1031 exchanges. We deal with different investors' self-directed retirement accounts as well. Like I invest inside my own self-directed retirement account in real estate. A lot of people don't understand that you can do that. Bookkeeping help as well. And then we do different investment analysis and due diligence, whether they are working with us or not, or on their own deals. We do different investment planning and real estate consulting as well for our clients. So we add an array of different services, especially me being a CPA and having the financial hat on. We help a lot of clients in that realm and really feel that they go hand in hand with your investing, understanding the tax mitigation and your budgeting and your entire goal structure. So next steps for your clients: email or call us to schedule an appointment to go over their financial situation and goals. So you can email us at invest@ocgproperties.com or give us a call at 424-757-4680. You can have them fill out a client intake sheet, compile what resources they have for investment purposes, and what specific cash flow goals and monthly expenses they're trying to cover. Review the different investment options and determine what investments are right for their situation, and they can start developing their cash flow stream. They can also continue their education by going to investors by investors investment clubs that are no sales pitch investment clubs where we just teach financial education and real estate education. So go ahead and have them email us at invest@ocgproperties.com, or if you're interested in working with us as well, you can email us at invest@ocgproperties.com if you're interested in being in the affiliate program. So to sign up as an authorized referral affiliate, you have to complete the ARA application. It's a one-page application, so it's really easy. Do a Q&A with us, plus an interview with our ASA in place. Go through the training calls and the videos. We'll approve the ARA into our referral network, and then sign the ARA agreement and the additional documents. To fill out the ARA application, you can go to goo.gl/FSS4H4, and you'll be able to, or you can go ahead and email us at invest@ocgproperties.com and schedule a call for any questions and that interview. So look forward to working with you guys. Thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Again, you can email us at invest@ocgproperties.com or go to www.ocgproperties.com to look at your individual financial situation, and we can start investing. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.